Hey guys, we are in Thailand today to drive that car. The new Honda WRV. Now, it's not yet available in Malaysia at the time of this video, but by the time we release it, Honda would probably have started taking bookings already. Now, we do not know the price. In fact, we do not even know whether it will be available in this spec, because what you're seeing behind me is the Thai spec. The Honda WRV though is made in Indonesia, so it shares the same platform as the Honda Amaze as well as the Honda Brio. But besides that though, it's actually quite a nice car. We drove this from Bangkok here to Pattaya, and I gotta say that I'm quite happy with it. Now let's go check it out. Hey guys, I'd just like to take you a couple of seconds to tell you about BH Petrol's Infinity RON 97 Euro 4M, because it's not like any other petrol out there, because it features advanced German additives that go into your engine, clean out deposits that have already formed from before, and if you continue using the Infinity RON 97 Euro 4M, you're basically ensuring that your engine continuously runs clean. So not only that, it also comes with an advanced friction modifier that goes in, reduces the friction of your engine, ensuring that you get maximum power and maximum fuel efficiency. Besides that, it also comes with 90% reduced sulfur. 90% guys! So what this does is, it makes sure that your engine runs clean, and it's also great for the environment. So the next time you pour BH Petrol's Infinity RON 97 Euro 4M, know that you're making the right choice. The Honda WRV sits in the small SUV segment. Now that segment is currently untapped by non-national car makers. In fact, the only national car maker that has a model that sits in that same segment is Perodua with the Ativa. Now, Honda Malaysia has basically taken a risk by actually offering a model that sits in that same segment as well, which means that the Honda WRV goes directly against the likes of the Perodua Ativa. Now, in that sense though, the Ativa is roughly priced at about 73,000 ringgit for the top spec variant, but since there's no indication of pricing at the time of this video, we can only assume. Now, the journalists that are here with me, as well as all the content creators that are here with me here in Thailand, are basically assuming that this would be priced somewhere about the 80 to 90,000 ringgit region, and perhaps even slightly above 100,000. That would mean that it's actually significantly more expensive than the Perodua Ativa. But is it a nicer car? Well, it does have a more premium badging as compared to the Perodua. Honda has successfully repositioned itself as basically a middle to premium car maker. It definitely does have a huge following that would perhaps do anything to have a Honda. In that sense though, I think Honda could price it at basically whatever price that they want, decently of course, and they would be able to sell this in the thousands in no time at all. So is it a great car? Let's go take a look. Powering the Honda WRV is basically the same 1.5 litre engine that is also powering the Honda City. Now it produces 121 PS at 6,600 RPM and 145 Newton meters of torque at 4,300 RPM. Power is sent to the front wheels via a CVT gearbox that comes with a torque converter with lock-up control clutch. So in terms of power delivery, well, it actually is a very simple, sprightly, I would even say, engine. Now this is actually not a very heavy car, somewhere about the 1,200 kg region. So that means that it's actually quite spirited. We do not have the acceleration figures with us, but it comes with a 35 litre fuel tank And driving this thing from Bangkok to Pattaya, well, we were still left with a quarter tank of petrol, which basically means that fuel consumption and efficiency is actually the name of the game for this powertrain rather than all-out power, quite obviously actually. Besides that though, I think it's a decent powertrain for a, well, small SUV. Power is decent, fuel efficiency is decent, power delivery is actually quite instantaneous, and the gearbox actually comes with a sport mode as well. That just means power is delivered more quickly rather than in the regular drive mode. So in that sense, this powertrain, no complaints. Now, how big is the Honda WRV? Well, consider this. It sits in the same segment as the Perodua Ativa, so if you would have seen the Perodua Ativa on the roads, you probably would have seen how big the Honda WRV actually is. However, the Honda WRV is slightly wider. The Perodua Ativa though is slightly taller and longer, and it also has a slightly longer wheelbase as well. So is the Perodua Ativa slightly bigger? Does it offer more interior leg space? Well, I'm not quite sure at the moment. The only way to answer that would be to drive both cars back to back. But in terms of proportions, I think the WRV is slightly smaller than the Perodua Ativa, even though it's slightly wider. So it's actually roughly about the same size. Now, in terms of features, you get LED headlights, you get fog lamps, you get this beautiful diamond grille that is, I think, only for the RS variant. You get 17-inch wheels that are also for the RS variant. The non-RS variants get 16-inch wheels, and you also get LED brake lights at the back here, and basically they're roughly about the same design as the Honda Civic, and a decently sized boot as well with 60-40 split seats. So in that sense, the Honda WRV is actually quite well positioned for life, as for any type of life actually, for anybody that is starting off as an executive, or even if you're a rich daddy and looking for a good car for your kid, this is actually a decent car as well, and basically a very, very convenient car to live with, in my opinion. The WRV, which stands for Winsome Runabout Vehicle. If you're wondering what winsome means, it basically means attractive, something along those lines. The key word here though is runabout, because that's what the WRV does really well. Running about, it represents basically fuss-free motoring. You can get in, everything is quite simple, everything is laid out nicely. I really like the fact that you get straightforward buttons. Huge screens are all the rage these days. A lot of vehicle controls, even basic controls such as air conditioning are placed in the screen. I hate that. So the WRV represents a basic, simple vehicle. So of course now, depending on the price, which we'll find out in about a month or so, that will basically define what the WRV really is, because whether or not it's a good buy or a good deal or such, that we'll find out once the price is revealed. But as a car, it's actually not too bad. In terms of comfort, well, of course, I think it could be better, but I'm also quite a big guy. I'm round around the edges and a little bit on the taller side. However, if you're vertically challenged, so to speak, I think you might find this quite a decent car. In my opinion, I would like a little bit more thigh support. I wish that the seat would go further back a little bit more. I wish that the steering wheel came with reach, it was adjustable for reach. But all of this, unfortunately, is not available in the WRV. It does, however, offer, well, a very simplistic driving style. In terms of efficiency, well, we drove from Bangkok to Pattaya yesterday, did some pretty illegal speeds, and we had a basic mileage of about 12.3 kilometers per liter. So of course this was in start-stop traffic, on highway speeds and such. Even right now, when we are cruising at speeds of about 120 kilometers per hour, just now we were in the heart of Pattaya. Even at this moment, the fuel consumption is rated at 14.4 kilometers per liter, which is actually not too bad. As I mentioned earlier, the WRV is powered by the same engine, the same power plant as what you'll find in the Honda City. So it's already a tried, tested powertrain, so no complaints over there. In terms of power though, well, it's not exactly a car that is designed for power. You can cruise at about 140, 160 kilometers per hour. You can do that, but I suggest that you don't, because it's just, you'll feel very detached from the handling of the car. You'll feel very detached. The steering wheel the wheels don't, basically the steering wheel doesn't have a lot of chatter. The suspension, even though it can be on the little bit on the stiffer side, we are however on Thai roads, which are not exactly known for being smooth and such. I suspect that the car will do better on Malaysian roads. So in that sense, it'll comfortably cruise at 120. That's where it will comfortably stay at, and that's where I suggest that if you're going to be cruising anywhere fast, stick to that speed, because that's where you feel totally in control of the car. Anything fast and it just gets a little unsafe. Besides that though, even though I use the word simplistic and such quite a bit, that's not to say that it's quite a basic car. The WRV, especially in the top of the line RS variant, does come with quite a number of safety features. It comes with Honda Sensing, which gives you things like lane departure warning, lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, which is one of my favorite technologies. It also has something called front car departure alert, which notifies you when the front car moves forward in traffic, which is great if you're going to be hanging on your phone a lot. So it comes with all of these things, even 6 airbags, ABS with electronic brake force distribution, EBD. It has all of these things that you actually need in a car as you go about your daily business. So in that sense, it comes equipped with everything that you will want. The powertrain has already, as I mentioned earlier, is already fuel efficient in that sense. So it's not exactly a simple car. It is actually quite decent. You get all the features that you will want in a good, reliable machine. But besides that though, now the only thing that remains to be seen is the price point, because it goes directly up against the likes of the Perodua Ativa, which sits in the same segment, same small SUV segment as the Honda WRV. The Ativa, the top of the line Ativa, goes for about 73,000 ringgit, which means that if Honda were to price the entry-level variant of the WRV even at 85,000, that's still a good 13 to 14,000 ringgit more expensive. So in that sense, top of the line Ativa versus entry-level WRV, the one thing that the WRV does have going for it though is the badge, the Honda badge. The Honda badge is so significant these days that there is actually a term for Honda fans now, and it's called as Bangsa H. Now Bangsa H are basically hardcore, die-hard fans of Honda. They're so enthusiastic about the Honda brand that it's been known to make or break marriages. Yes, honestly, I've heard about this, where girls simply leave their boyfriends if they cannot afford a Honda. And if you've noticed, Honda sales actually go up during the Raya period because of the Balik Kampung rush and such. So in that sense, the Bangsa H will basically support the WRV and basically steal some sales from the Ativa. So in that sense, I think the WRV will do pretty well. So that's that then, guys. Our first impression of the new Honda WRV. Well, it was a really good drive, over 400 kilometers from Bangkok to Pattaya, which gave us a really good first impression of this small SUV. Now, full credit to Honda Malaysia to be brave enough to take the fight to the Perodua Ativa, which is the national car maker, actually the only national car maker to offer a model in the small SUV segment. The Honda WRV will be the first non-national car maker to offer a model to compete in that same segment. So again, the Perodua Ativa at 72,000, 73,000 offers incredible value for money. But with a car that looks that good and offers that many features, I suspect the Honda WRV will also be able to take the fight to the Perodua Ativa. Now it remains to be seen how Honda Malaysia is going to price the WRV. The general consensus among the motoring journalists here in Thailand is the fact, Malaysian motoring journalists here in Thailand, is that it'll be somewhere about the 80 to 90,000 ringgit region. And if it's truly priced at that price point, then Honda Malaysia definitely has a winner. Thank you for watching, guys. I'm Cashy Dillon and this is the Piston Show. If we have your attention up to this point, then do consider subscribing.